What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 1998 Nissan Autech Stagea 260 RS. Up front is a 2.6-liter twin-turbo inline-six, and down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, I am incredibly excited to be driving this Nissan Stagea Autech for one main reason. It's an Autech. I've never driven an Autech product. We'll talk about what that means in a second, but I also love Nissan Stageas. I love Skylines. I love Nissans. I love manual transmissions, and I love turbo 6-cylinders, so I have a pretty good feeling that I might love this car too. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. Also, huge thank you to Inbound Motorsports here in North New Jersey for letting me borrow the Stagea for today's video. They're absolutely awesome. If you would like to browse their inventory and website, you can do so in the description below. We'll talk more about them towards the end. Let's get back to what's under the hood, which is the RB26 DETT. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a essentially R33 GTR Skyline shoved into a Nissan Stagea station wagon. So, first part of that is the RB26. The normal Stagea you could get with an RB25 Neo, which was a very good engine, but the 26 just pushes it a little bit more displacement, twin turbos instead of single turbo, and it raises the horsepower about 45 horsepower, which is wonderful to see. Plus, the RB family is my favorite family of engines, so it's a pretty good one. Oh, that's the good stuff. Oh. Like I said, paired to it is a 5-speed manual. Nothing too crazy there. Pretty standard transmission. It shifts really, really well. It feels fantastic, and it will definitely be getting a Christmas card from me this year. Last but not least about the drivetrain, this does have the all-wheel drive system from the R33 GTR, as well as a rear limited slip differential. So this is made to boogie, this is made to have fun, and that's what I plan on doing with it. How does it feel to drive the Nissan Autech Stagea 260 RS? Well, it's everything that the other Stagea that I drove was, but just a little bit more. Everywhere where I wanted it to just be an inch better, it's 2 inches better. The throttle is more responsive. The car is faster. And yet with the rear limited slip, it feels a little bit more nimble. It feels more reactive to the pavement of which I'm driving over. Everything is just better, not in any significant way across the board, but when it's all together, that's when it becomes significantly better. The sum of its parts is better than the whole, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Visibility's good, steering's fine. I'm in Hoboken, what can you do? With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, this is all pretty standard Stagea stuff. So in front of me, I have 4 gauges. Off to the left is my fuel and speedometer. Off to the right is my tachometer and coolant temperature. The steering wheel is a Momo unit. And off to the right, we have headlight levelers and heated wipers, a climate control vent, and a little cubby. And moving out of the door, we have power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we do have a little digital clock, as well as our Stagea badge with 2 climate control vents. Gauges for the front torque, oil pressure, and boost. These are from the standard Stagea, as well as we do have our climate controls, which have a digital readout, which is very nice to see. Aftermarket radio, and we do have pop-out cup holders, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test. It fails, but at least it has them. Then we have a cigarette lighter and this aftermarket multi-checker. Very, very cool to see that little piece of JDM history right there. Something really cool about this car too is that it has a turbo timer. So take the key out, it'll beep at you. then it shuts off. So it just kind of cools the turbo a little bit before shutting it off, kind of helps preserve the turbo. It's an aftermarket thing a lot, but the 260 RS has it. The shifter is the standard Stagea shifter, nothing really too new there, nothing special for the 260 RS. Then we get another sort of cup holder-ish ashtray situation. It would also fail here, so nothing lost there. Little center console and the seats. The seats do have decently high bolsters. They hold you in really nice, and even though I am a big guy, I'm not being strangled by the seats, so again, that's really nice to see. However, speaking of seats, this is a station wagon, so let's go do a backseat review. All right, we're in the back of the Nissan Autech Stagea 260 RS, and a couple of things to note. It's not very spacious. My knees are hitting the seat in front of me. However, the seat could be moved up pretty dramatically. The driver's seat, which is my driving position, has a touch more room, but again, not much. The Skylines and the Stageas weren't like full-size American wagons that we would see here today, like the Country Squire that I recently drove. No. This was a family car, 4-door. You could fit 4 people in here. It's just not as spacious as one might think, but still. I do have an ashtray. I have a Momo floor mat, which is very cool. And I have a lap belt for the center seat. Oh, we do get a center console. No cup holders, just kind of a chunky foam brick. But other than that, pretty decent, normal interior for the 260 RS. However, let's hop into the very back, take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, around the back of the Autech Stagea 260 RS, just a little handle down there, and here is the rear compartment. So we do get a privacy cover here as well. We do have this button over here to put down the second row of seats. Love to see that. And we do have a compartment down here. I can't seem to get open. So I guess that will just forever remain a mystery. If anyone knows what that is, please let me know. But we do also have this cargo net that will come down and protect anything back here. If you have a pet back here, they can't get to the second row of seats, which is really cool. I would put it down. I put it down on my other Nissan Stagea review, and it was incredibly hard to get back up. So you can just imagine it here today. But that is the rear end of the Nissan Stagea Autech 260 RS. Now we got to talk about the looks, and this does get slightly different lips and spoilers and things like that. It's on different wheels than the other Stagea that I drove. But all intents and purposes, all in, it's not that much different, at least visually, than the standard Stagea. And I kind of like that because I do like how the Stagea looks. And if it ain't broke, I guess you don't need to fix it. With all of that being said, what are my final thoughts driving a Nissan Stagea Autech, or Autech Stagea 260 RS, whatever you want to call it? Well, this has been amazing. This car is so flippin' good. Oh, yeah. Oh, a little bit of a bridge here. Come on. Come on. Oh, it's so good. To drive, it's so good. But I do want to talk about Autech, because Autech is a very interesting company. They were a subsidiary of Nissan, but Nismo was also a subsidiary of Nissan. And so what was the point? Well, Autech not only focused on performance, they did upgrade the performance, but if you notice this car, they didn't go all out. It doesn't make 8 million horsepower through its 8 wheels. It's relatively considerate and relatively conservative, I should say. Well, Autech didn't always focus on just performance. They also wanted to just make the cars better. They wanted to offer something above whatever the top of Nissan would do. Hold on, quick pause here for a second. That's just the entire skyline of New York City behind me. Isn't that cool? This job takes me awesome places. But back to the Stagea Autech. Autech was started in the 1980s, 1986 actually, by the former president of Prince. Prince was a essentially division of Nissan back in the 50s. There was the Nissan Prince, all these vehicles, things like that. He wanted to sort of offer a version of the car for purists, for people that wanted that little extra itch. This was not going to be a mass market vehicle. I believe they only made about 1,700 of these vehicles, and Autech was always a small batch company. They also made the Autech Zagato AZ1, which you might be familiar with. And actually, later in life, they did do an Autech Nissan Leaf. So again, it wasn't always performance-based like Nissan was. It was just kind of upfitting and making the cars a little bit more special, a little bit more unique, and offering these almost one-off feeling vehicles. This does feel like someone hopped up a Nissan Stagea, but this is an official Nissan vehicle. It has a Nissan VIN, and it was built by those engineers. It was for the connoisseur, that's the word I was looking for, the connoisseur of Nissans, where a regular Stagea all-wheel drive just wasn't gonna cut the mustard anymore. They needed that nth degree, that going to 11 spinal tap feel, at least in terms of what they could buy from the factory. And some people want the extra bits, but they don't want to turn the wrench. They don't want to do a motor swap in one of these. Who wants to get dirty and sit on a cold concrete floor for 3 weeks straight trying to pull a motor? No one. Well, Autech said, hey, we'll cover that for you. No worries. And they built this. This is the greatest station wagon ever built. And yes, I have driven a CTS-V. And yes, this is better. It's just so fun, and it's lighthearted, and it's well built. And you can also buy one of these for not a bajillion dollars like you have to with a manual CTS-V. So I guess it has a win in that category as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Inbound Motorsports for letting me borrow their Nissan Stagea 260 RS Autech for today's video. If you'd like to check out their information, it'll be in the description below. Remy and Ferris are absolutely awesome to work with. So if you are on the right coast of America, or really anywhere because they do ship, please go check out Inbound Motorsports. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.